Hey everyone, I'm Tony George from DocSports.com. We're talking, I guess PGA Tour this week with the Canadian Open, and we're going to give you some free picks on the futures market. We will start daily head-to-heads over at DocSports.com after the cut, and I'll give you some of the reasons why we're going to wait till the weekend and after the cut before we get to our daily head-to-heads. We've cased 7 out of our last 10 tournaments. Last week, the Memorial Tournament wasn't a good one for us. That's a rare tournament that we've lost overall with all of our picks. Granted, I was on vacation, didn't watch a lot of the tournament, which made a difference. Nonetheless, we took McIlroy over Hovland on Sunday, and McIlroy just absolutely imploded. And I'll tell you something. Hovland, he's been sniffing around. He was in the PGA Championship in the mix. He was in the British Open in the mix. He was at Arnold Palmer's tournament earlier this year in the mix. He's in the mix almost every week, but he fades on Sundays, and he didn't. And McIlroy looked like he never played a round of golf. He must have knew about the live thing before the Sunday's round or something. I don't know. And just a brief note on that, those people in the golf world, those people that follow golf, those people that have a passion for the PGA, traditionalists, golf purists. Obviously, the news on Tuesday was upsetting, shocking. I can't get my head around it. I was flying home from Florida and was in the Dallas airport for a 3-hour layover, and when I got off the plane and took it off airplane mode, my phone had blown up. The news had came out that the PGA Tour, who, spent the last year bashing everybody that joined the Live Tour, everybody that, was thinking about joining the tour, throwing up the Saudi blood money and Saudi-backed, politics involved there, national politics with, supporting terrorism and 9/11 attacks, and they're tied to that, and the death of a journalist, and, blood money. And then the PGA Tour does the most despicable thing ever and turns around and takes the money, it looks like. And a lot of players on the PGA Tour passed up. Tiger Woods passed up $800 million. Upfront check. McIlroy, $400 million, who has been the poster child, him and Justin Thomas, for the PGA Tour. Jay Monahan turns around and throws a, spitball at him and hits him right square in the head. Just betrayed him, basically. So there's a lot of mixed feelings and mixed emotions about all this stuff. All this white noise going off off of the course. And that's something, as a media guy, I guess, in the betting world, and if you'll ever notice me with all these videos I do, I don't get involved in white noise off the floor, off the field, off the court, off the ice, other than wanting to know how that affects the point spread or the money line or certain players' psyche, or this, that, or the other. But there's no sense in dwelling on some social justice issue or political issue, because in those particular arguments, there's two different sides to every subject, and everybody has their opinion, and the truth and the answer lies somewhere in between, and the rest of it's just fodder. So, but do I like it? No. It's going to change the PGA Tour, but money, I forgot what movie it was in. Never underestimate the other guy's greed. I believe that was in Scarface. Two human emotions, greed and more greed. And that's exactly what you're seeing from the PGA Tour. And I think that probably more so than anything else, it was a money issue for the PGA Tour, trying to raise purses in 5 or 6 tournaments up to $20 million, like last week, so their winner gets almost a $4 million payout, which is what Liv gives their event winners. And I think, what do you, 3.5 or 3.6 million for first place. They don't do it every tournament, but I think maybe the PGA Tour might got behind the 8 ball on the money and took it and ran. Yeah, what are you gonna do? You know. But we have a tournament this week, and it's interesting because next week's U.S. Open, so we got a major on deck. So you still kind of have a watered down field. However, 10 of the top 30 players in the world are playing this course and the Canadian Open. And one thing about this course, we have no course history, so it's kind of a crapshoot. So Rory McIlroy is a minus 275 favorite to win it. Now, Rory McIlroy was the, I guess, lead person for the PGA in defending them against players defecting to the Liv, made a lot of enemies, drew a line in the sand, you know, this, that, and the other. So what's his psyche going to be this week? You know, is he going to be ready to play golf? Is he going to have it dialed in? Now, you probably get him in the top 20 at a big minus number, but I'm always looking for underdogs, and we'll talk about it. Now, one thing I noticed about McIlroy, if you go up against him, they have a tournament head-to-head. So one player's got to beat the other player for the entire tournament. And one of the picks I like, and I've seen this happen before with Tyrrell Hatton, he kind of throws tournaments away the week before a major for whatever. He did it the week before the Masters. I do like Rory McIlroy minus 135 to 140 versus Tyrrell Hatton in a head-to-head for the tournament. So if let's just say Tyrrell Hatton misses a cut, then you already win your bet, and McIlroy makes the cut. But I think McIlroy, regardless of what people say, you can either be defeated by what's going on, or you can get angry and play well. This is a tournament that he's won, like 25 under or something last time he did it. But Oakdale is a different course. I don't know if he can win here because it's a shorter course. McIlroy does good on Bombers courses, so his wedge game and his putting leaves a lot to be desired, especially if you watch the final round of the Memorial. But it's happened to him all year, and this course is going to require a short game and good putting, and I just don't think he's up to the challenge to win the thing. But he may come out and just go scorched earth on the thing. But I do think he can get over on Hatton in this tournament. So let's talk about top 20 picks, and I've got 3 of them for you. And let's go with our long shot. And I think this is a legitimate pick. Top 20, Brent Snedeker. Plus 550. Now, he's had an injury, sternum issue. He's had it before in the past. He came back last week and finished top 25 in shots gained on approach and a couple other key areas, and had like a 43rd or 45th place finish, which is good for coming off the injury on a very difficult, the Memorial Jacks tournament last week. That's a very, very difficult golf tournament, set up almost like a major. And I like him. He's done well up here in Canada over the years too. I know it's a new course, so we have no course history to go on at all. And he's good on shorter courses versus long ball hitter courses. You know, so I think that's a great long shot at plus 550. Also, a player that's playing really good this year, has won already once. I think he'll be a factor in this tournament. Top 20 finish again, Justin Rose, plus 100. I like him to be in contention, actually, in this tournament. And finally, one other player who is from Canada that I think is a legitimate top 20, might even be a top 10 choice this week, is Corey Connors. He won the Texas Valero Open here recently down in San Antonio. He's got an extremely good iron game. If his putter's working, he's a threat at any point in time. He's decent off the box as well. It's got some length, but you don't really need that much length in this course. It's more of an iron player's course, shots gained on approach, you know, scrambling around the greens, game around the greens, and he's good at all those things. And I think he's probably him and Justin Rose would be equal as far as the best bet for a top 20 finish in this tournament come Sunday. And, of course, the long shot, Brent Snedeker. And the tournament head-to-head players is Roy McIlroy minus around 135, 140 over Tyrrell Hatton. Many think McIlroy is going to fade. He looked horrible last week on Sunday at the Memorial. I didn't get to watch it live. I was on a beach, but I did tape it, and I watched a little bit of it. I watched quite a bit of it last night when I got home. So I'm like, what happened? But nonetheless, I think instead, I think he wants to kind of redeem himself from last weekend at Jack's tournament. And I think he wants to prove that, all this live stuff and everything that's going on surrounding a lot of fingers, like pointed at him in terms of coming up with answers and takes and this, that, and the other. I think maybe he just puts that all out of his mind, just goes out and plays a hellacious 4 days of golf and rolls into the U.S. Open with some momentum, because he's been a contender in the majors. He always is. And so I like him over Tyrrell Hatton for your head-to-head. We'll have head-to-heads daily, Saturday and Sunday over at DocSports.com, unless I see something Monday and a matchup, Thursday in round one, and I see a matchup at a tee time we can get in time when we release our picks. But there might be some opportunity on Friday as well. So just check over at the website. We give you a free $60. Link in the description below. If you've never been a member at Docs, we'll park $60 in your account. Look up some PGA, red hot in the WNBA. Golf's been good. 7 out of 10 tournaments we've cashed. 70% of the tournaments, the last 10, we've made money in. Let's make some money up in the Canadian Open this week, right over at DocSports.com. Best of luck.